Niche is how I usually describe a lot of the games I go over. A particular game in a particular place for a particular reason. Sometimes a niche game can be hyper-specific, other times it seems like a game finds itself in a position that others would only know about it if they're on the hunt. Horde Wars is a role-playing game from Blackwall Games released in the variable time of about the 2020s. Why the variable release date? Because this game was initially seen and understood to exist on Big Geek Emporium when it was trying to compete with DTRPG, before the catastrophic failure wiped out 98% of the books on there and everyone collectively forgot about it. But Horde Wars is now on DTRPG and is a copper seller, 50 to 100 copies sold. That's pretty low, but I'm hoping I can tell you all a little bit about it. What are we working with here though? After playing a pickup game, I determined that this beta draft of an actual game, a $20 beta draft claiming to be complete, oh joy. But Horde Wars is a D12 game at its core, but a D12 that's trying to LARP as a D20. Everything boils down to a D12 plus modifiers, including the natty 12. Doesn't even sound right, does it? But the game really doesn't dwell on it, or really much else for very long. While the book is 300 pages long, you learn how to roll the dice, followed by learning how to hack enemies to pieces with it within the first about 10. If you've ever played a grid-based game before, you've played Horde Wars Combat, but you do have action, movement, and a maneuver. Maneuvers are arguably the selling point of the game, acting as a particular ability or trigger condition that lets you do things at certain intervals, though it may not actually specify when. But what's actual combat like? Pretty bare bones, all things considered. I played Hawkram, a mercenary, who would either miss everything or instant kill others due to the wonky math accounting for 5% ranges on a D12 for some reason. Most things are one tap or do fuck all in terms of actual damage. Luckily, death is possible, but also extremely lenient due to HP being fairly simple to recover, getting you back on your feet pretty quick. This isn't saying combat is fast, though. Combat takes time, especially with the trigger conditions on maneuvers being a lot of if and or maybe but perhaps statements written out in what can best be described as mediocre Google Docs formatting. Though mediocre Google Docs formatting is a reoccurring trend. Rules are kind of peppered throughout in random location, it feels like at points, with basic fonts and headings making it hard to differentiate actual different sections. Really ought to do a really long-winded rant about fonts and formatting in Google Docs one of these days, but I'm getting off track. Making a character is a little bit strange. It can either be extremely time consuming or take about 5 minutes if you know what you're doing. First things first though, we're going to have to pick our species. The usual suspects of course show up, though some are a bit more unique. Humans get a free perk, this is always handy to have. Dwarves are able to avoid their crippling alcoholism from actually killing them. Elves get some bonus willpower and autism powers. Hobbits are fucking hobbits, what are you really expecting here to be honest? But then orcs. Or should I declare them more actively, fuck your encounter structure, the race. Why are orcs weird though? One little ability, orc regeneration. Everyone else has to deal with damage that they are taking persisting, but orcs can go from 99% dead to full health in 1 minute. What does this mean? It means Orc Squad is objectively the best squad. From there, just distribute your very minuscule amount of points, which may be 3 if you're playing anything other than human, but the attributes do something at least, sometimes. But I was kind of lying here, as Horde Wars isn't really Dragon Game, but more of an unfortunate bastard spawn of Dragon Game and Warhammer Fantasy roleplay more than anything, mostly due to the fact that you're going to be selecting 2 careers that summarize your skills and abilities. There aren't any immediate restrictions on the characters outside of some immediate dissonance between the 2 classes. Hawkram was a mercenary priest, relying quite extensively on his pike and holy energy. Picking a career grants you skills and abilities immediately. The mercenary handed out a free skill and shield bonuses, but no shield in their rather lackluster equipment bundle though, in addition to our 2 maneuvers of Deadshot and Lunge to give us 1 more damage die. Being a priest let me praise the sun, do a free heal, and raise the fucking dead as an action once per day. Alright, so the balance of the classes are a bit wonky, but you can be a Tavern Wench Warlord, Brown Wizard Rogue, Viking Knight, or any other combination which I do actually appreciate. All of these feed into our initial skills, which begin at +2, though you will be taking the actual combat skill, and get more fighting styles. Fighting styles let you make 2 attacks with the chosen weapon instead of 1. Not that the game signposts this at all, so you'll need to do some hunting to find every piece of text that pertains to it. It's not a bad mechanic, just really poorly signposted and written out. This does include magic, by the way, because magic also follows the same logic of abilities and maneuvers down to being structured that way, as well as being a skill. Tying everything together are feats. These are presented without ceremony, and you'll just have to deal with realizing that some are just better than others. There are combat skills which make certain characters viable, like Spell and Blade, letting us make an attack after magic with Yar maneuvers. Yes, you can make a Githyanki, and no, I will not elaborate. And that's character creation. There is an item section in the loosest sense of the word. Armor is simplified down to having a defense rating, your AC, which you can say, which is having a 6, 8, or 10 if you're naked, in chain, or chain mail. You may notice that protection, though, that is more important than the actual armor due to taking the damage and having it. Yes, having damage if you have protection, and it's on all of your armor. Brave move, but alright. So where is this rule? Correct. Sandwich between regional temperatures and perception. Really, stop thinking about it too hard. Weapons don't fare much better. A rather simplistic list of the weapons of war, though you'll mostly be doing low amounts of damage early on. It does ramp up due to adding just a consistent amount of damage dice to all of your attacks. From there, the game kinda just throws stuff at you. You want domain play and mass battles? You want boat adventures? Want 100 monsters that obey the exact same ideas that you do? Probably, yeah, maybe. But is the game good? It's delightfully unfinished. I could see what it's doing and how it plans on doing it. I can tell you with extreme confidence how and why they are doing the things they are. It's just a first draft, maybe a second or even third draft. That 5-letter word is the most important thing here. Is it worth 20 USD? Absolutely not. Is the goddamn quick start, which they are selling by the way, worth $7? No. With some extreme elbow grease and a lot of player references be enough to fix this game? Maybe, maybe not. This is very much someone's home game that has been converted and currently being sold. Would fixing it in that way really be the right thing to do? My name is Notepad Add-on. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and many thanks to the Franconian Bankers Guild for their continued support of my misadventures. Godspeed and good luck.